elements that they don't have. But I feel like it's not the coaches that don't have it.
Our coaches, let me give you an example.
These are type of people that appreciate foreign things.
No.
So if for a CEO of the company, I doubt if he can.
I am the person who I was just talking about.
These are the people that employ the.
Now I'll give you something. Coaches here in Zambia, they will tell you, if you have the ball, just kick it to your friend. If Cristiano has got a ball, the way he's going to lose the ball and the way we're going to lose it, Arieka, uku sunka the ball ni boom, atsunki uko, atemboku mutukana foot. You know, it's guys.
Hi guys, how are you?
What's up, Mr. Muzi?
Yeah, has been the weekend and how's the week progressing?
The week is so far so good. We're making money as it's supposed to be done.
It's been an eventful week.
Weekend,
that's when I started. Weekend. It was a good weekend actually.
Yeah. Very
relaxing.
Yeah. So today we want to talk about what's trending now. The Zambian coaches leaving us. Coach Apiamo 1 month only to not know he's quitting because of payment issue. We've had quite a number of coaches. Yeah. If we are not reading in Southern Africa in terms of hiring and the frequency of coaches being dumping us and also dumping them. So what's your take about, we talk about the recent coach. So
the Zambian coach.
Yeah, Zambian coaches and footballs.
I think we're in the search for a better coach. We haven't reached...
No,
the Mzungu, I mean. So recently, the coach went
on vacation.
On the vacation. Only to receive a letter to say he's not coming back, and he has cited issues to do with the salary dispute, and he said he hasn't been paid. He hasn't been paid for 3 months according to his lawyers. The letter they have presented to Football House.
But why is that we always have issues with Football House in terms of paying coaches? Because this guy, I was reading what Faz wrote. Faz is claiming to say this guy went on a vacation which was supposed to have I don't know if it was supposed to be 1 month, but he overshot in his vacation. So already this is like the Faz and the coach that they fall out even before he left. And one time I was privileged to actually meet him. Yes, I met him in person. We had a little chat here and there. But one thing that I will say, and what I read about the same, it's a situation where, according to Faz, they signed a contract of him to have qualified the national team to CHAN. And if you do not qualify the team, then you have terminated the contract on your own.
But
so it had before I come to that, it had conditions. And I want to believe that's the reason why he went. So he must have played a quick one on us. Before you are fired, you know when you are fired, it's a dent on your CV because it will be there you are fired. So he knew to say somehow, I'm headed for a firing. So what do I do? So he actually plays a quick one and pulls a quick one on Faz, says, I've quit. Because quitting and the guy was making some good money. Yeah, whether they delayed to pay him, they will still pay him at the end of it all. So we had the issue of Bonnet, where first delayed to pay him, they still paid him at the end of it all with interest. I want to believe so. So it's the same thing. So the guy today will look like he quit and make Faz look like they are not serious and they have not done. No, Faz has done according to that view, because he's threatening to actually take them to court and says let him go ahead because. He's actually, they're citing also...
When he was employed, I think I agree with him. There were a lot of conditions that were put across.
And he signed for that.
We heard the media talk so much about him when he was being employed and being put in. And the first statement I think he gave when he came into the country was, "I will manage to qualify the CHAN to the."
But are you sure, gentlemen, that you put in that condition to say?
Yes, it was there. Actually, first I was reading it. I'm very certain. I was reading it. First, I said actually, first is actually daring the coach at Josa, something like that, at Josa,
Yes.
to actually go ahead to take the matter to court. Why? Because they say the coach was absent from work for a number of days, so already he's found himself in a situation where he might even lose the benefits. Maybe the benefits will come. The benefits they'll give him is the salary he was supposed to get after and during the vacation. But after that, there is absenteeism from work, which I don't believe he has put a proper thing. I think there was a time where the nation team was supposed to be. Was it in South Africa?
Yeah.
Did he join them?
No, I think he didn't manage.
He didn't manage.
So there was
all those are
point
discrepancies
where-
from him.
Where he chose the team virtually, he mentioned who's supposed to.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this guy has been out of the country for.
Yes, he's been
Yes.
out of the country for more than a month, and his vacation I think was supposed to be, I'm not sure about that, less than a month or a month, but not more.
But the CHAN qualifiers were when?
We have not qualified to CHAN.
Yeah, and we are remaining with.
Oh, they're still playing. Oh, so you saw the way the CHAN was
No,
playing out.
the chances of us not qualifying are
Are
high.
very high.
So it's a well-known thing according to the condition. It's like only if you do this, you will continue.
So he predicted the way the games were going. He said this is
Yeah.
going downhill,
Yeah.
and then he just decides to jump ship.
So it's like Kachakazungu Kerenzo Kamba for school, in spite of, you remember that?
Yes.
Or despite of a hand, yeah, I mean, Manje coach.
Yeah.
Where he says, even if he's
but-
going to
but
go ahead
the
to
issue is, why have we changed so many coaches as a country? Yeah. So I think
You know, I think from a person that doesn't follow football very much, but I want to follow it with Bagacha qualify big games. This is one thing that I've learned about Zambian football is that among us all the sports, in as much as we like to give opinions, football is a big deal in Zambia.
Yeah.
It's like the primary sport. When I say, oh no, let's focus on other sports when Zambians misperform. But now, since the ladies started performing very well, no, let's focus on the girls. But in terms of your side, why have we changed the number of coaches?
yes.
Football generally, anywhere you go, even when European teams, if the manager is not performing, he's fired by the bosses usually.
You see, football is about results.
Results.
It's like when you're watching the game, when you're watching the game, you can have all the good possession. Your possession will be 70. But these other guys have got maybe possession of 30. Okay? Ball possession. But they're scoring.
Yes.
So, ball needs goal.
Yes.
So, if the guy is not performing, we don't care whether
He's a professional, he's a
whatever else,
specific-
but as long as the national team
results
is
are
not,
going opposite.
and the
So,
national team
in
is
terms
not
of-
bringing the
in
results
terms
we
of
want.
results, there are certain times we've seen certain coaches, they'll come in the country, they see the quality of players you've got, and they say, okay, give me 5 years, I make a good team for you. So they start identifying talent
Is this what
from
this guy was doing?
grassroots, where they pick different. You see,
Are you sure in this country right now we have that patience?
You saw,
No, we don't have.
but you saw the way Rena performed.
But
Rena,
that team was brought by Bonetti. This was
Yes, but
Bonnet is the one that
Brought that
actually
team.
brought those guys and
Yes.
made
That's why I said the one who took Zambia to
Is it
the Africa
Airtel?
was
was
Airtel,
was
Glasswood,
Bonetti.
whatever, but bringing, it was during Bonetti and
Yes.
Bonetti used to go even in these other local leagues, and that's why he picked those guys.
yeah.
Most of them.
yes. So you find maybe we are giving them
Maybe
too
we need to
little
Bonetti
time.
back again.
No, maybe we are giving. Maybe
It's a
we
bad
are,
relationship.
we
That's
are
not
giving
really-
them
No,
too
hey,
little.
the people that were invited then they've gone. So
It's
for
about
different
relationship.
breeding.
It was about the breakup.
So maybe we are giving them too little time. So we want them to qualify to the
No,
CHAN,
it's
but
they know because you see what happens.
The people that you've given him maybe are not.
No, you see what
so
is happening.
you-
I'll give you an example. You see what is happening there. One, Zambia right now, we have tested the Africa Cup of Nations as champions,
Yeah.
and we have the potential to do great. We have a lot of guys that are playing on international football or
Performing very
professional.
well.
They're performing very well.
Very
Yes.
well, yeah.
So we
Once-
expect nothing less than a good result.
Yeah.
The issue of building, if we say the under
Yeah,
17 yes
we
building,
say
yes,
yes.
There are other people who can build
Not the
other,
main team.
but not the main team. The
Main
main
team
team
is
is the
results.
cream. And the reason why we are changing the coaches is for that. At this particular time, you don't expect us to go from the champions to underdogs.
Yeah.
No, at this particular
Very
time.
painful.
So when we bring a coach, we need
have-
to bring a coach that, one, he should not be first, put his focus. Because most of these coaches that we bring in, their focus is the money. Okay?
Everyone's focused.
But
Why are you trying to pretend?
No,
I think
hold
that
on.
is also an issue here.
No, there's an
so
issue of-
let's not
I'll give you an
allow
example
the coaches
of,
to come here
Renard.
and just do it for the talent.
Renard came
or
to
for
build
the passion
his
of
CV.
Yes.
And he knew to say, my resources of building my CV is these guys. Let me work with them. Renard was not even the best or the perfect
Yeah.
of coaches. The guy just knew one thing, which I think Mourinho used to do. Renard used to know how to motivate his players.
Yes.
Renard used to be involved in the game. When they are playing, he's shouting on top of he's throughout involved. And when they are training, he used to train with them, motivate them, sing those nonsense, stupid things that
it's easier to bond with
to bond. He bonded with them. You know, he hangs out with them. He made friends. He did not treat them as a boss. He did not act the boss.
Okay.
He did not. So he brought them,
So
guys.
his
This is like
management
family.
skills.
Yes.
His management skills.
Even today, Renard, even today, he still got that special attachment to Zambia.
Oh, yes.
There are very few Zambians that can insult Renard.
No.
That each time we see him, even if we are playing against
But
the team that
obviously-
is coaching,
So the
just
issue,
seeing him, it
the
brings
issue,
joy
the
on,
issue of the money still came up. Renard left us because he made his CV and what we were paying him wasn't equivalent.
no, that is okay. You see
What-
what is happening. Even you, when you go to school, where you are working today, you improve your
Yes, and then
your
there's
skills,
no,
and they are not
progression.
giving you. They are not. What do you
Elevation
mean? We should understand in this country to say football is an issue of following greener pastures.
Yeah.
And also pursuing other adventures that
Opportunities that give you
Yes.
the.
So the issue of changing coaches, we just need to know, okay, this coach, if we're going to be with him, let's have a minimum time. Like, okay, we should spend not less than these years. Okay, if he's not performing, he needs to go. Guys, even if we give you 3 years contract, then you are not performing. We play 6 games in about a year. You are not performing. Why should we keep you?
So obviously the Africa Cup is not the only tournament.
Olowayako
Let's
school.
look at COSAFA, let's look at the World
It
Cup.
doesn't matter,
Other-
but Olowayako school, every time you write a test, you fail. Are you going to progress to another?
No, for example, okay,
GC
yes,
yes,
I have a GC. Yes.
No,
But
I like
but was here was GC.
But anyway, when we talk of the coach, let's just be realistic here. A coach who is not producing results, we don't want him.
Sangankari, who's got the time, my friend?
Why are we changing this? Yes, there are issues of fast, but on this one, I
But there
stand
was
with fast.
issues to do with, is it Wenger, the Arsenal coach who stayed for a long time. In as much as they were not winning trophies, but he made the money for the club.
He was making money.
Yes, so he made money through different, also harvesting talent, selling them. You know, he picked a lot.
So
of
there was a
young
reason why
talent.
they are keeping him, right?
Yeah.
The
So
best line
obviously,
Okay,
in
why should we keep a
Zambia-
coach that is not
No.
performing in Zambia?
In Zambia, you attached the condition to one tournament.
What else
Say,
were you supposed to attach?
the Af-
No, it
So
wasn't
the other-
only one. One, you're supposed to Chan and Africa Cup, qualifying Zambian Chan to Africa Cup. Okay.
Chan is the Africa Cup.
No.
No,
Chan
Chan is
Chan,
different.
or then Africa Cup. Then there's also
Africa Cup of Nations.
Yes, there's also the World Cup. We saw that because he also touched that party to say, looking at the team, I think we can go to the World Cup. After he
So he fails to deliver on all of them, and we keep him and for the sake of the
2 major tournaments we have in Africa.
Have you
Chan,
seen that Kosa?
Chan. COSAFA is a regional one, just in Southern Africa. There's Chan and Africa Cup of Nations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, these are 2 big tournaments of
Yeah.
the entire continent.
Yes.
And these were given the priority, and the guy has not delivered.
Yeah.
How does the results look like?
How do results
do we-
look like?
and then
Have we
how-
qualified to Africa Cup?
How do we get
No.
how do we get these results?
How do we?
So looking at where we're standing, I think he assessed using the COSAFA Cup. We struggled to even win that cup. So he saw that where we're going and maybe the teams we're remaining with,
It's a
I
damn
think I don't know. We've got the best players, and
Than
they brought
before.
in
This
Vena.
time-
everything
Vena,
falls on
is
the
it
leadership.
this-
I'll give an example of.
So I don't know where the coordination is lacking from. The players we have.
Yes.
So I think that's the
Management.
reason
You see,
maybe where they are.
football is like management.
That's what it is.
I'll give you an example.
So
You are given-
the other angle I can bring it. Why are we entirely blaming the coach? Maybe there's some interference from footballs. They are telling him who he should pick. We have heard all those.
No, that guy was
rumors
given the
where-
ultimate with this fuzz. They are not interfering much to who's supposed to play, who's supposed to pick. They leave it up to the coach. And the first president has even put it on the record to say.
But in
they
his
don't
complaint
interfere.
letter that he hasn't put through.
Yes, I like
Because most of these other coaches, they do highlight that to say one of the factors.
Has he put that
also
complaint in his letter?
in his letter, I think I
hasn't.
didn't see.
Yes.
No, it's
So-
because the coaches we have now under this fuzz administration, they do not interfere to who
some level
plays.
of autonomy.
Yes. So they do not tell him what to do. With him, this is the reason why he cannot even have a lot of things to point at.
Complain about.
Why? Because he's been given
The room.
the room to do his things.
And then
I think for me, he's failed to
deliver.
Then there's other components that I think we are not doing very fine. It's not everyone in our national team that will be able. Language barrier is also a very serious thing.
Big time.
And that guy was Josa is not English.
Just there. I like the example that you've given, the language barrier. Have you seen now the ladies are performing very well?
Yeah.
So you think Valorant Sumu when training well?
No. I think even when we've got local coaches, I think there's a better performance.
I don't know why people
No,
don't
local coaches. I'm objecting to that. I was actually somewhere where I was.
How's it working for the ladies?
How is it working for the ladies?
Eh.
And if you look at history, you just look at the records. Of
I'll give you an
when
example.
we
Okay,
had,
let me
local
respond
coaches.
to that.
There have been
The
a
ladies,
player-
you see, the ladies' competition is not competitive as men. The level of advancement in terms of football
No, I negate that point that
That
you
one
raised.
would not make
It does not make sense.
same level.
Thank you.
No.
There are women.
No. Yes,
It's
you
not
get.
men.
It's
Did
not
you watch the
No,
final
you're missing the point,
between South Africa and Zambia, the women?
You cannot compare. No, the ladies in
So
competition is
what he's
What?
trying to say is women are competing against
women.
So it's the difficulty for guys to compete
Then
with
the
others
other
is
guys
the
is
same.
the same with
No, you have
women.
not get my point. Okay, give me time. Let me explain. Now, so let me say this.
Yes.
The competition, the stiffness of the competition at men's level is advanced and needs and requires very high-tech skills. I will tell you this for one reason. When I watched the women's Zambia against South Africa, the way they were playing, I know they're playing good football. It was nice, but I could tell to say if it were men here, would have seen a lot more goals. And it doesn't matter whether we go to the Wazungus or what. Women football, that's when it's still developing. Men's football has developed. Okay? If you check at the skill level. No, me, I'm a soccer fan than you, even him. That
I'm not a soccer fan.
Yes, I can tell you for the fact that, look,
For me, women who play like that.
No.
You
see what happens?
No matter how many years we give them to train and what, they always be.
Yes,
good.
because
So
somehow
let's not
I'm
compare.
of the view to say there are certain sports that I'm not going to. Certain sports that are
it
more
is.
dominantly by men. Yeah.
What
So
about boxing? Is it fair? Are they progressing?
when I come to
Are you going to say no? It's more intensive.
there's a difference between an individual sport and the sport where you have got a large number of people participating, where you need to coordinate. Boxing, it's individual effort and thing that you put in. Football is about 11 people against 11. You've got 22 people on the pitch.
But you get the point we put across. The point we said, it's communication. Why is it working for the ladies? And the example Owen said, in the previous past, where we've experimented with Zambian coaches, The results have been favorable.
Yes, have been favorable.
So you cannot come and negate that. No, because the women's football side are performing.
No, it's not that. It's not only that. I'm saying this from this angle. The local coaches. The local coaches. Okay, look at this. Tell me 3 names that you know about local coaches. Our local coaches.
There's
The previous pass?
Yeah, anyone you have in Zambia.
There's Rwandamina.
Mhm.
There's also what's the other coach?
Which one?
Chambeshi.
Nyerenda. What's
Nyerenda,
Chambeshi.
yes.
I'll tell you the reason why I asked those names.
Mhm.
Those names are very specific, and I'll be very honest.
Mm.
Okay, we have people that Patson Daka is playing in Europe.
Yes.
Okay, I think at some point he was told to say, he actually said, the football we play here is different from the football they play there. Because when you go there, you actually learn to say, oh, I didn't even know how to trap a ball. There's a concept, there's a principle that you apply on, and those are things that you literally go in class. When the ball is coming like this, okay, there's a weight, there's a lot. So the Bazungos have put in a lot and have invested a lot in this, okay? So now you find that to say, our local coach here, that might not be one of the things that he's been exposed to and he knows.
Okay,
And they are not
why
improving
not
themselves. Can I
have
finish on
the
this
head
point?
Coach as a local guy who can communicate clearly and have these other trainers as experts.
Now we have the technical bench, all of them, most of them are Zambians. All you need to do is, these Bazungus also, they've got one problem. When they reach there, they need to be a boss. Now, you boss everyone around, even when they were trying to tell you this and that. And you don't communicate. You see, as a leader, you need to communicate your vision. Guys, this is what I want us to do. This is how I want to do. How do we sit down? So there's lack of teamwork within the head coach, physical trainer, and the technical bench. And on top of that, on those technical bench and other people, there's also politics involved in there. Okay, there's this person who's backed by this person, also fast want this person. We are not looking at the skill. So as a head coach, when you're given that, if you do not want to work with this person, you tell them, no, I think, do you have another recommendation? A coach, I think, should be allowed to do that, because you are not going to work with a person who you've been given. You need to work with this person whether you like it or not. No, it becomes hard. You said, like, can I work with people that I can find easy to work with? One,
I think
said about
I was given that opportunity. That's the reason why he brought in is it Bumure? How do you pronounce it? Wow,
the one that was given to take care of Zambian team when Everina left or something.
Then
So
he
this
had to get him back.
So if we're going to have a lot of coaches that are coming in, we should not look at, for me, we should not look at big names for the sake of impressing people. We should look at what is this coach bringing to the table? What is it that we are looking for specifically? Can we have people that are technocrats in football sit down? This team, when we look at it, what do we need? Okay, we need a striker. We need someone who can, the striking force. What is the strength of that coach? Okay, if we look at the strength of the coach, what is the strength of the coach? Oh, he's good at striking force. Okay, fine. Then we need to have our own technical bench of people that can solidify the midfield.
Yeah.
So there are people that are specialized to just make sure to say the midfield. Then when you are going to bring the people, the defense, the people that are coaching the defense and the head coach now, he's finding a way on how to coordinate these people.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a good thing. Then he needs to know who is good at what point when they're doing the training. Want to experiment? No, a person this and
Yeah, you're supposed to read that environment. Anyway, the gentleman.
So I think what I can say from my end is I think we need to pick a coach, which, like he has mentioned, to say we need to know what we need, where we are as a country.
What we need the results. So what do you mean?
So for instance, we need results.
Yes.
But what is lagging? If the players are there, we saw the Venam Sondas, Patson Daga, they are on their peak where they are playing at. So when we bring them, then how do they become coordinated? What motivates them? What will motivate them also to play for the nation like that? So one, we need to pick a good coach, pay the coach. If you are like because the other issue I've seen in Zambia is we have not yet appreciated sports. people. We still want them to play as an hobby, for instance. So paying them that kind of amounts, I think we are a bit struggling. I saw recently in Parliament there was a big debate about how the women, the Copper Queen, were paid. So there was a big debate in Parliament on how the Copper Queens were paid, and there were a lot of justification by the sports minister why they paid them weekly or why they paid those amounts and all that. But I think we need to start appreciating sports people. Let's pay them on time. Let's motivate them also when also the kind of kit that we're using as a nation in terms of sports people. Let's invest as we can. I think that's my remark. Even the issue of different corporates coming on board to assist, is it?
With football, don't even blame the corporates. They are so dedicated.
Yeah, so
music, you can complain. Yeah. Football, they dedication.
No, we need more. They are doing, but we need more.
What more?
And even the consistency.
Okay,
yeah, so
the
consistent. So we see maybe the corporate coming so loud when there's a tournament and
results. Everyone wants results.
We've reached at the certain stage. No, I think that is also
prove yourself. Then we put in. That's the way it works out here. We for the sake of
that's basically growing talent.
Okay, building on first on the statement that he said, the corporate world want to attach themselves to something that is winning. So if you remember the Muzala, when he won, you saw a lot of people coming. This one we've given this, this we've given this. So you see what happens if you're winning. Corporate world, they just want to associate themselves to we also did this. We also them. They don't just do things. They want to be seen because you are attracting a number of people to yourself.
Yes.
And if they attach themselves to you, they'll get more clients.
Yes.
So now coming to, I don't know the interviews that how fast does, but I want to give an example of someone who told me, I do not know, and you might have even, two types of interviews. I have heard. I've not attended such kind of interviews, but I have heard. Okay, which I believe in future we could even have.
The coaches are subjected to trials as players. They don't.
They are the interviews that happen. Yeah. So now, in interviews, I'll start with the driving interviews. The interviews where you ask someone and they say things. Anyone can say. Saying is easier. It's easy to say anything. Even me here, you tell me how can you improve the team? I'll tell you, that one needs to be put there, this. It's easier. But put me in the actual thing, I will not do. So I'll give you an example of two kind of interviews. I know a person who went for interviews as a driver. Okay? They just put the car there, and mostly it's not in the right position. It's either they retract the mirrors, the handbrake is on, maybe the key is what? They just want you to say, when you know a driver, okay, here is the car. Okay? I think there was even some comedian guy on this social media who was, he went for interviews for a truck, but for a person who went for interviews for driving. So he said, this is the car. So when you go in the car, the first thing you need to know is, okay, are the mirrors okay? Okay, how is this? How is that? You put on a seat belt. And there's another person seated next to you, observing what you are doing, if you're really a driver. And if you are going to reverse, if you are reversing, even when you go for a driver's license test, they will check for all those things. Do you know the basics of what it is to drive? So as you drive, they tell you, they put you in a tight spot where you need to reverse or you need to reverse back. Okay? And when parking, you need to park it in this way. They even tell you. So it's a practical thing. I need to know if you know the basics. Okay? The other one was, I've got a friend of mine who is actually IT specialist. Okay?
Owen?
No, not Owen. A friend of mine, not another one. So this guy went for interviews. When he went for interviews, he was subjected to, they were given tasks. Like at this table, there's this task. As an IT specialist, these things you need to know. So they are put in a certain way, or they tell you design this, and that, and they should take this. So they put tasks. So the people that passed the first round, they were told come tomorrow again. They're given another task. So again, so the guy went in about 3 phases of interviews to know, to say this guy is not guessing, he knows what he's doing. So even with Faz, I do not know what. So I was looking at it. How do we get a good coach? What are we looking for?
Yeah.
We are looking for a person who's going. We are okay with a defense. The defense is almost. I'll give an example. I'm just saying, it's maybe almost in good shape.
Yeah.
All we are lacking is the striking force, the coordination of how to give them 6 or 10 games by the Zambian team. Analyze this game, how you could have improved it. Okay, bring Zambian guys or technocrats that they know to say, okay, this was going to. You analyze it together as the people that are going to interview. Then you give the coach, oh, here is the game. Maybe you pick just not the whole lot of it. You pick how would you have improved this? How well do you? Can you use this one? So he gives. No, hold on. He gives.
Yeah, we've seen that with England. You know, when England has best. When they are playing the World Cup, the way they analyze the BBC, how many...
No, those are BBC. Now, what I'm trying to put across is, the interviewers, they know to say, if he's going to say this, he's right. They discuss as interviewers first. So, you know, at least a person has got a know-how on how to go and how to approach certain things. Okay?
So
if we need to know what we are looking for to be specific.
We don't know what
we don't know what we are looking for. That's the reason why we pick anyone.
Why do you think you're firing them if you don't know what we are looking for?
Because we're picking anybody.
Like no, we're firing them because we know we want results and the results are not coming in. So we're not occupy that position.
Have you identified what we are weak at and what we are strong?
We are comparing. The yardstick is every now. We are using.
No, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it comes down to.
If you every now was told, take us to.
No, I'm not breaking it down. We're done with the conversation. If we don't go.
So, okay, I think I'm listening to this from a viewer's point.
Yes.
First of all, the question I have in my mind is, what really is the coach's job? And also, do we have, maybe before the coach's job, do we have good players?
Oh, yes.
Do we have a squad that can win the AFCON?
Yes.
Yes.
So, if we do have all this, what is the coach coming to do? What is really his job? Is he training these people?
No.
Or just managing?
He's giving them strategies on how
to communicate on the pitch.
How to actually bring results. A coach is a strategist who actually tells them, guys, because when you go on the pitch, you don't know your enemy and how they are playing.
Yes.
So at that particular time when they are playing, you need to read the game very fast as the coach. Before that, you also need to watch them. Okay, they play like this. So their mode of play is this way.
Yeah.
And when you know that their mode of play is this way, what will be your approach to actually weaken them? You spot the weak point.
So meaning now,
the coach in short is a general in war. You give instruction to the people
Troops.
actually
on the battlefield.
On the battlefield.
So I don't think the problem is the coaches. The
They-
problem is fast.
How?
They don't know how to pick their generals.
Yes.
No, they do.
No, they do not know. Why? You remember the
Because
point I'm saying?
people who are
We
not
do not know
applying
what we are looking for. First does not know what we are looking for. You know, when I'm going to bring someone who's going to coach you specifically, I'm going to come specifically to say, you're not going to pick me as a cameraman. Okay? If you're going to pick me as a cameraman, you need to know to say, okay, that day we didn't come. Who did we pick among the
It comes
the-
to apart from
we knew to say
apart from what we're looking for, knowing what we're looking for, we are also looking at what we can afford to pay for.
We can afford them, all of them.
We are looking for Mourinho. But
Chizungu.
can we afford him?
Yes.
We are looking for better results, but the caliber of
Because even every now
cannot give us these results. People that can
we
give us
can't
this.
afford him. We know that we need every now, and if every now was to come back, we can still see a lot of
That's our
results.
observation.
But can we afford him?
So we wind up, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we've been talking about. The coaches are going to constantly be fired if you don't deliver the results. We're here for results. That's me speaking as a layman who does not follow football. I only follow football when the results are pleasing. So I work on football, no, the technicality, the champion. If you don't deliver as a Zambian ordinary person, will fire you. That's what it is. So even the next guy, let's pay him his dues. The one that is gone on a vacation, permanent vacation. We employ another one. Let's try a Zambian for the sake of just trying. Because if it's working for the ladies, we might as well
The
try
Zambians are limited. And even the level.
Yeah, if your talent, anyway, that's Blanca's view.
Yeah, so if they are limited, if they will take us to Chan or Africa Cup
with the results,
the games remaining, we can use them.
The local coaches.
Yes.
I've got a question as we close. We can do this outside the show.
Yeah.
No, for sure. No.
Yeah, go.
So, this is from Blanca. So, if the men's team coaches are limited, and we are here, and then the ladies are doing okay, which of course probably the facilities or capabilities is right under.
Yes.
How is it that they're excelling
Yes.
better than the ones that...
Who have got the proper...
Can I answer?
Yeah, that's the question.
Okay. Do you know to say it's not every teacher that teaches mathematics that can teach Adima?
Okay, yes.
Why?
Speciality.
Huh?
Speciality.
Thank you. You've answered yourself.
No, as well as an
So
meaning,
what
so
I've
meaning
said-
it also goes back to what you've been saying.
So it
The
comes,
speciality with the
let me
people
come
they
back
hire,
to
bro.
the local
So-
people can teach. The local coaches are like general mathematics teachers.
Okay.
For Adima, you need an additional kind of training on top of that for you to start teaching Adima. Because Adima, muntu amena karibocha kwa Adima, teach emulator first.
So no.
About
For
the
me,
doing what?
for me, I think. So, for instance, additional mathematics is additional mathematics. Whether it's a ladies taking additional mathematics or the guys. So we can't call football for men additional mathematics and football for ladies.
No, I was answering based on the teacher.
So
I'm not on the pupil. I was
so additional mathematics is additional mathematics.
Yeah.
Whether taken by the
Ladies or men.
by the- so all we
Let me call you
need
back.
is a coach who's going to deliver results.
All coaches can coach, but you see what is happening is there's a certain fine refinery
Especially
kind
about
of
football,
skill
yeah.
that these coaches, high cream coaches, have.
Yeah.
Oh, the basic, those coaches we have. Do you not say even classes of like driver's license?
Oh, yes, yes.
So how because this
So
is where
we've
now
got
where
one of
Mr. Moses is saying-
one of our the three coaches that we mentioned.
Yes.
We saw one being picked by Angola and they performed quite okay when we went to Angola. We've seen another one who has been picked by Tanzania. And in terms of
He was fired in Tanzania.
yes, in terms of the economy performance, Tanzania and what they were doing fine, they can afford, yeah, but they saw some attributes here. I think we just undermine and undervalue our local.
You see what is
people and our
happening there?
local talent.
Is they don't.
They
understand
have been exposed to proper training
You
and
don't
they
exist
do
here.
watch international matches. They are proper.
We don't
coaches.
understand football, but we understand results.
Yes.
That's what you're missing.
So now the issue that
There's
is
a
there.
technicality that Blanca has
Yes.
stirred up that is very
Yes.
It's also what Mr. Moses has said.
Refinery
When you look
training.
at the landscape, it's the same. But with what you said, it's like there's a certain element that they don't have. But I feel like it's not the coaches that don't have it.
Our coaches, let me give you an
These
example. Let me give you an example.
These are type of people that appreciate foreign things.
No.
So even
no,
for a CEO
no.
of the company, I
No.
doubt if he can.
You, I am the person who I
local
was just talking
CEO.
about
These
the
are the
local
people
product.
that you employ the
Now
white
I'll give you
person.
something.
Mm.
Coaches here in Zambia, they will tell you, if you have the ball, just kick it to your friend. Uli kuntansha. Ule tu mina vya kuntansha. No, hold on. Wait, kind. I want to give you a different
You're
example.
moving on point right now.
Hold on. Now, the refined skill that I'm talking about
Yeah.
is how do you keep the ball on your foot? If the ball you begin kuikunkurisha bora, ulikunkurishira kati ile so. You know when you are putting your foot, ile kunkurukira kunankani. This is the question that you find is how do you keep the ball if you are running with it? Have you seen the way our Zambian players kick the ball? Even who's this Patson Daka there. If you can check, look at Vardy. If you check,
These are same people.
so I'll give you an example.
they
If
see
Cristiano
a black
Ronaldo has got a
doctor
ball,
in the hospital.
he's got a
I'm
ball.
waiting for the
That's-
doctor to come.
Yeah.
Over. If Cristiano has got a ball,
Yeah.
the way he's going to lose the ball and the way we're going to lose it, Arieka, huku sunka vya ball ni boom, asunkira huko, ate mbuku kutukana foot. You know, it's guys, ni panono kwa. You give yourself some space.
So now, is that the coach's job to
Yes, now he's telling you something that you do not know as a player to say, this is a strategy you need to know. When your friend is coming now.
But
as
is that
a
what
coach,
you've been saying to say, coaches are bringing in, they're not teaching these people the physical.
you remember what I said?
Of the football.
We are not
They already
bringing a
know.
coach to come and teach you how to kick the ball or do anything. He's telling you a strategy, a trick. You know, when you're outside, you're able to see the mistakes. That even people that don't know football, me, I'll tell you, say, it's easier as a coordinator.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this conversation cannot end. What do you think? Me and Owen are advocating for a local coach.
Yeah.
This one wants another Bonetti or some Filipino or whatever, something foreign, whatever.
It's not about foreign, it's about
come and have those accents again and
guys.
to communicate with our local
because
players.
Adeba frustrated. He's getting frustrated. He's trying to tell the coaches, hey, run this way. Right now he had a barrier with language, but you say, hey, run. You know, in his whatever effort he managed, he was willing. These other chaps that they come here, we want to bring a coach. We want to bring a coach where we can tell them, we want you to just improve on our striking force. Chapwa. For me, that's what we need. A coach that is going to improve on our striking force.
And then Chapo
defense and midfield. Not what happens when Christopher Katongo.
Chapo had no good to say.
Kumbuyo, there's a technical.
If you start focusing on the striking force, Chibo, you're supposed to have a coach that is supposed to.
We as a team, Zambian team, we
are.